some things that I've thought of in, rounding up 2017 and going into 2018 is something that kind of keeps coming back to me. And I started yoga this year. One of the things that they say in yoga is namaste, which means the light in me sees and honors the light in you, or some variation of that. So when I started my journey at the beginning of the year, it kind of stuck with me, and everything for 2017 kind of became about light. And as I think about my 2018, I want to make sure that I continue that path, because 2017 was kind of awesome for me. So I want to make sure that I am staying kind of on path and on target with the things that I've learned this year, and how can I make it bigger and broader and more bright the next year. Before I go too far, like I said, this is a get ready with me or a chat through or whatever they call it. So I'm going to be using the colored Raine Smoke palette. It's called the Smoke Show. And I'll list all the brushes and stuff. I don't want to take too much time or focus away from the actual conversation. So I'll just, like I said, do my makeup as I go along. I have already done my brows with the Loreal Brow Stylist pomade and the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, the usual, my brush, and set it with the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm going to set my work here. This is Sonia Kashuk brush from Target. Like I said, I'll list all the products in the description, so that way at least you'll know what I used. Okay, let there be. The very first thing that shows up in quotation marks in the Bible is in Genesis 1:3. God had made the heavens and the earth, so on and so forth. And then in quotes he says, "Let there be light." He saw a need for brightness. He saw a need for the ability to see. He saw a need for something to combat the darkness, something to balance the darkness, not to completely take darkness away. We have the sun and the moon, we have day and night, and that is all kind of seem to be for a purpose. So when I think of my plan for 2018, I want to make sure to continue to stay within the light. Make a plan that centers you in the talent that God has given you. I have spent a very good amount of my adulthood figuring out, like, what's my path, what's my plan, what am I here for? And I have kind of gotten to the point where being a light is my primary job here on earth. Be a blessing to other people. Be, a guide or a path, in so many words, to someone or a group of people that, may not have the abilities or the guidance that I have had growing up. And I enjoy mentoring, so I will definitely expand my mentor base and my mentee base as to include more. I try, my focus for the last few years has been like high school teenagers, from a less fortunate background. That is something that I relate to the most, and I think high school is a very special time in people's lives. There are a lot of things that mold you as a child and as an adult coming into, young adulthood out of high school, that mold you and make a lot of differences when you move out of high school, go on to college, or going into out into the world. So that has been my primary focus, and I would like to continue that focus and to use my talent. I like to, like I said, I like to mentor, so I want to make sure that I'm keeping that program and keeping that goal, fire. I'm on a good path right now. So I'll keep that going. But that just, again, goes to say, use the talent that you have to be a light, to be a pathway for someone else. I think that our talents are useless if they don't benefit someone else outside of ourselves. There are so many things we can do to benefit ourselves, but I think it takes you to another level when you have it in your heart to benefit someone else, and that someone else's well-being and someone else's mindfulness is at the upper hand versus just, what's in it for me. A lot of the times it may start as a what's in it for me, but I think it begins to grow once it's a what's in it for you. So from there, networking is also something that I enjoy a lot. And sometimes it's just hanging with friends. Sometimes it is going to different programs with my sons or my husband, hang out with our friends. Just different ways that we interact with other people and how we support other people. And you're only as good as the support that you have. Nobody gets successful on their own. Nobody gets good things on their own. Someone has had to have laid the path for you, or has had to hold the torch for you while you're on your path, in cartoons, or, in the movies, or on a hiking trip. If you're out at night and you're going into the darkness, you take a torch, you take a light. There are so many situations that light is necessary. And also the support is necessary. You can't do it all on your own, but understanding your role in your support structure, you make the best of your support when you ask for it. You can't be so prideful or never be so like I can do it on my own, to where you miss opportunities or you miss the chance to do something different. I don't want to say better, but definitely do something different than someone else may have done or someone else may have been able to teach you. There are a lot of things that I've learned doing makeup in the last year or so that have greatly improved my skill by me being open to feedback. And, that translates into my career, where I would be nothing in my career if it weren't for the feedback that I've gotten throughout the years. And it means everything to me that people care enough to give me feedback, because if people didn't care, they wouldn't say anything. Sometimes a complaint is feedback, but the fact that they took the time to tell you, or took the time to mention, hey, I didn't like this, or I don't like that, I think it would benefit you to do this or that or the next, or give you another resource, another way to accomplish something. I think that makes all the difference. And you have to be mindful when you're taking feedback, kind of who that feedback is coming from, what position are they in your life, and, what do they really mean by the feedback that they're giving you. Are they doing it with the intent to hurt you? Or are they doing it with the intent to make you better? And the power of discernment is very, very powerful in knowing where and when to accept feedback, how to apply that feedback. And using the resources that you have around you to make yourself a better person. Self-care is another huge thing that's pretty popular right now, which is really good. There are so many conversations about taking care of yourself and being mindful and aware of the your vulnerability to things, your ability to balance and say, this might not be right for me right now, or, I'm not able to complete this task right now. Understand that that's okay. Sometimes you have to change around things, just like if you're going on a trip and you have your GPS on and there's an accident or a road work or, some unforeseen mishap happens and you have to, have a detour. there, you know, things happen, but you just kind of move around, you move along, and you go from there. You can't kind of get stuck in one place, or you'll never get to where you're going. And that's just, like I said, something to be mindful of, something to keep at the forefront. Is self-care. Just like there's a balance to lightness and darkness, there's a balance to how much you can give. You know, you get some people that say, oh, grind 24/7 and, you know, you'll sleep when you're dead. You'll be dead a lot quicker if you don't get rest. Exhaustion is real. Mental exhaustion is very real. Sometimes you hit like writer's block or creator's block. I'm sure that, you know, that has happened in all of our lives. Things that have deterred us or kind of moved us around from where our plan was or what our path was. And understanding and being flexible with yourself. You know, don't beat yourself up too bad because you got off track. But just recognize it and get back on track. That's what's more important than anything else, is making sure that we get ourselves back on track. Because if you don't, you'll never get to where you're going. And then there's no need to make goals. There's no need to plan. But you definitely need to plan. I have a friend that says, and I don't know where she got it from, so you'll definitely figure that out if I'm misquoting, but I learned it from her. And she says, if you fail to plan, then plan to fail. And when I first heard her say it, oh, you know, we were in like training at work or something. And it was, you know, just kind of whatever, like, oh, okay, plan to fail, I guess. But I started to, as I went away from that class and away from her, you know, instruction, it was a class on like presentation. So we went through steps that you can do and take to improve your presentation skills. You know, you see some people that are kind of naturally gifted at speaking, or you think that they're gifted at speaking, not realizing that that person, you know, took some time to plan and took some time to think about what they were going to say. They have notes, they have all types of things that make the difference in their presentation, and they practice and practice and practice. And as long as you have a plan, you have some type of direction, some type of outline. I do not exist without a to-do list. Like, I get so like scrambled if I don't have a to-do list, if I don't have something that reminds me of what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. My friends and I were talking about like planners and things like that, and I was like, you know, I haven't really done a planner since I was in the military, but I think this year I'm really gonna do like, I hadn't done a vision board either, but I also think I'm gonna do one of those to kind of give myself a visual reminder of the things that I want to accomplish this year. One of my goals for my channel is I'd like to make it to 100,000 subscribers. Right now I have like 70. So just to think that I have the potential to have that big of an outreach is very scary, because I really am still getting excited. Like when you have a new subscriber, it's like, yay, you know, number 65. 65 people are watching what I'm doing. But again, like when you think of my plan and my purpose is, it's to be a light. So, you know, people are drawn to the light. Bugs are drawn to the light. You get, you know, the funny little, you know, zappers or whatever, because like I said, bugs are drawn, everything is drawn to the light, not necessarily bugs. Even like the balance in the moon and the sun. You get high tide midday, you get low tide in the night. And you know, these things happen for a reason. They happen that way because that is the intention. Because again, like God's number one priority, it seemed, was let there be light. That was the first thing we ever heard him say. So in that, keep in mind the blessings that you have. Keep in mind the place that you have gotten based on your own strength, and then how others have played into that. Never, they say don't forget where you came from, but don't forget who was there with you while you were coming there. You know, who were your passengers? Who were your navigators? Who helped you along in this path? Who taught you? And use that experience to do it for someone else. I'm not here to, you know, push anybody out of the way or to, you know, take away. The only thing I can do is, you know, hope that someone learned from something I was doing, or I improved your life in some type of way. That means the most to me. That means more to me than, you know, being, I guess, successful, I guess, if that's the word for it. Because in my head, like, that is the success, is, you know, that somebody benefited from something that I did or that I learned or that I was doing and they saw it in my video. I want to focus this year on small businesses. I'm a huge advocate of small businesses, and there are so many channels that are dedicated to reviews of larger big brands, and I don't feel like that's my space. Like, I mean, I love big brand makeup just like everybody else, but I'd love to see, you know, what the smaller creators are doing, the smaller businesses are doing. And my focus this year is to do reviews and create content for small businesses and some of the smaller makeup companies. Queen Cosmetics is right now one of my favorites. KWEEN. Aolita Cosmetics. Ixora skincare line. I think it's Ixora Botanical Beauty. I've done a review on her products before. Someone else told me the other day about somebody called Carity. I'm not sure if they're owned by people of color or not, but Carity, I've seen a couple of others. I gotta do my research. And then, of course, if you guys know of any, or if you're a owner of a brand, please, by all means, put your information into the comments, or put their information into the comments so I can look into that. I'm not looking to be, you know, for free products or anything. Like, I'm definitely a consumer. I don't mind spending my money. So just, you know, if you see something, or if you have, like I said, at companies, please, by all means, use my comments to promote your business. Don't spam people. But definitely, I never mind you leaving stuff in my comments. What else am I doing? Contour. Back to self-care. Make sure that you're putting as much effort into self-care as you do into the grind and into the process. There is no need for you to be out here killing yourself for, you know, some YouTube videos or whatever your passion is, whatever your purpose is. Make sure that you are taking time for yourself, for your family, for, you know, for the sake of, there's a lot that goes on a day-to-day basis in the world, you know, in our day-to-day lives that can kind of wear you down and chip away at you. One of my favorite movies is Tomorrowland. My husband laughs at me because I talk about it all the time. But they have this doomsday or like, I don't want to ruin the movie, but I kind of took that movie to heart to say, sometimes you got to back up out of the media. You got to back up out of kind of what you're fed in a, you know, intellectual space, even entertainment space. You know, what are you really taking in? What are you really absorbing? And how are those things benefiting you? Especially when it comes to your own mental capacity. Sometimes I get so overwhelmed with the news and things that are happening all over the planet and in the universe, you know. And it can get tough. It can get like, what the hell? And sometimes, you know, you just kind of stop. You got to unplug for a while and like read a book, or, you know, get something that is not negative. And sometimes you get so into the negativity that it wears on you mentally. It wears on you physically. Physiology is a very, very real thing. You can think your things into existence. You can think things that happen to your body. You can think things that, you know, almost bring them to fruition just by thinking. You know, forward thought is very making sure that your forward thought is very positive, and that you are aware even of what you put into space. Everybody's favorite term right now is universe, the universe, the universe. But it's real. The universe is, you know, the immediate area around you. It is the things that you talk into yourself. I was big on kind of talking down to myself. I like played myself a whole lot, almost as a joke. And I hid it as like humility, but you don't have to dim your light for others to shine, and you don't have to dim your light for yourself. Be mindful of the way you talk to yourself. Be mindful of how you, especially the ladies, like there's so much against you at any given point. And it's extremely hard to kind of stay on top of it all. Your mom, your wife, or at least me, this is me talking to me again. Yeah, there are so many things that go on, and you're just like, you know, what the hell? I can't keep up. I can't do it all. And you begin to believe that you can't. But you can. I promise you, you can. I promise you that you can. Keep in mind all the things that you say to yourself. Take a meditation. Meditation worked wonders for me. Having the time to sit quietly and process the things that I pray on, and process the actions that I've taken during the day. How did I make a person feel when I said A, B, and C? You know, how did that person react to me? How can I, you know, close a situation that may, you know, have not left the best impression on somebody for me, or may have made someone feel less than because I said something, or, you know, like I'm always wondering, I'm always thinking, I'm always processing, it feels. So again, be mindful, simple as that, and be grateful. There's nothing that comes to us by accident. There's nothing that comes to us in a way that is not purposely done. I don't want to attribute it to karma, because karma is such a huge thing. There's so many pieces to karma. Karma is just not always negative action. Karma is, you know, every action has a reaction. That's like Isaac Newton or somebody. That's more in science than it is karma. Like, you know, like a spirituality thing. But I tell you what, some days it's all the same to me. Sorry for the silence, I'm concentrating. Be mindful of the space that you occupy. Are you there, or are you there making a change, or there making a difference to someone? That's always my like worry, is that I'm just there taking up space, which I never want to be anywhere just, you know, taking up space. That's purposeless in so many words, or little words. That wasn't that many words. So hopefully this talk helped you out a little bit, helped me out a little bit. Maybe it brought us closer, I don't know. I could only hope that it did. Say So yeah, let's recap. God said, let there be light. Our job is to be a light, to be a positive force for someone, somewhere, somehow even. Bring people on your journey. Allow people to light your path. Allow yourself to be a light to others. That's something I didn't touch on. Sometimes we think, oh, you know, I'm going to leave this person in 2017, or I'm going to leave that person. But sometimes consider that you're the light for that person. Consider that you are in their life for a reason, that you are the reason that sometimes they make it through. And we don't consider that a lot. We just think of what other people's benefit are to us, where we're not realizing, you know, this is my benefit to someone else. And the purpose in their life is just, or excuse me, my purpose in their life is to be a light, to be a guide. And they may not have the same purpose. So don't be so quick to just close people off or just cast people out because they're not reciprocating in the way that you may feel. And make sure that they understand what reciprocation is for you. You know, understand, you know, we know love languages and whatnot. But make sure that these are things that, you know, your friends know. They don't have to be exactly what you are to them, but make sure that they know what they should be and what you need out of the friendship or, you know, relationship or whatever. You know, make sure that you're vocal and that they understand. Don't leave anything for an assumption, because you're setting then you're definitely setting yourself up to fail. Assumptions aren't very positive. What else am I doing? I cannot find mascara. I'll be right back. So in closing, set yourselves up a plan and let's rock the hell out of 2018, because 2017 was good some days. It was a damn struggle some other days. Use the things that you've learned this year to build. Use the connections that you made, the people that you've met, the experiences that you had, and continue to build on that. Continue to excel in your talent. Continue to be great at the things you're great at. And then also be mindful of the areas you can improve and work that into your plan. Nobody changes overnight. You're not going to lose a ton of weight overnight. You're not going to be like a superstar overnight. But after dedication and after taking the time to invest in yourself and learn the different ways you can make improvements is really your biggest benefit. That's your best bet. And we'll do a check-in. Let's do that. Let's check in. Pink. I love pink. Pink's my favorite color, if you guys didn't already know. They have only opened and closed the garage 40 times in the last 2 minutes. All right, you guys, subscribe. Thank you for those who have already subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, share these videos, leave your comments. I'm gonna check in with you guys to see how we're doing, how we're being a light to other people. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.